In the beginning, Granolah had that weird hunch that Son Goku was going easy on him because he turned back into his original form. He didn't know if he should feel offended or humbled by it. On the one hand, the Saiyan, in typical fashion for his kind, might not have thought of him as a potential threat, but on the other hand, he was still concerned about his safety. A very non-Saiyan trait indeed. They started the encounter with some quick punches and dodges to show that they were pretty close to each other in terms of speed. The Cerulean knew, however, that his biggest advantage in this battle would be keeping his distance from his opponent, and that was what he intended to do, moving away from Son Goku in order to get a better aim at him. Still, he had to resort to flying and fighting, which he rarely did. Most of his opponents were fighting him on the ground, so there would have been no point to do so. Monito had taught him how to hover, but he never really incorporated this into his fighting style. Mostly, he used this thing to get some good vantage points that would give him an upper hand while sniping, so it's sort of an assist technique rather than a thing he relied on all the time. So it was in this case that he allowed himself to move away on one of the nearby rocks and took a shot at the Saiyan's arm, which went numb.
Oh, my arm! I can't move it! How did you do that?
Son Goku was more curious than pained or angry. It's a special trait of my people. It should wear off sometime after we stop fighting.
Well,
Son Goku smiled.
let me show you my special thing!
He shouted in a friendly manner, after which he transformed into Super Saiyan. That was what Granolah was waiting for. The numbness of the arm was still there, so he just wasn't using it. But, nevertheless, the increase in overall power was massive, making the bounty hunter nearly unable to keep up. Even with one limb unable to perform in combat, the Saiyan was insanely strong. Granolah tried to pinpoint his vital areas, but the opponent was just slightly too fast to be able to do so reliably. He was sure that, with a few more years of practice perhaps, he would be able to attack such a quick-moving target. But for now, Granolah had to rely on being clever. He decided to shoot a finger blast to increase the distance between him and his foe, but the Saiyan wasn't going to allow him to move away any further. He knew what was going on now and kept getting close to him. You see, this is how good Goku's at adapting to his opponent. Even when he was able to punch him away, Goku kept following. This guy was constantly sitting on Granolah's tail. So then, he had to be creative. As the Saiyan was approaching, he fired at the ground, letting the explosion alone propel him into the air and get a quick glance at the vital areas of his sparring partner.
Oatmeal, a little help here please! Calculate the trajectory fast!
Working! And before Son Goku managed to charge, he was hit with a shot that visibly slowed him down. But instead of staying put, he charged with even more power as they clashed and both collapsed into a nearby rock. Yamcha looked terrified.
I think that's enough, guys, before you level everything around here!
But Goku laughed.
I think he's right. Not bad. No one since Frieza has put me on the back foot like that.
Thanks. I'll take that as a compliment. You're fast though.
I like that shooty shoot thing. I've never seen anything like that before.
My kind evolved their right eyes to observe blood flow, muscle movements and all that nice stuff, so yeah, it is a good shooty thing.
Whoa, you can see all of that?
Son Goku turned back. Even though he was still a little bit in pain, he was more curious about Granolah's overall abilities than he was concerned with his overall health. You know, Goku kinda does that. The Cerulean was taken slightly aback by this. This man was, well, crazy. But for now, it seemed like the fun kind of crazy, not the crazy kind of crazy. So, as Yamcha was trying to calmly explain, it took me a long time to find you. I need your help defeating an enemy who's a former ally of Frieza.
There are more of those, huh?
And with that, the Cerulean told Goku his story, with more or less the same amount of detail as he did with Yamcha. He was surprised to hear about the Namekian that raised him, Goku, explaining that they also had Namekians on Earth, 2 to be exact, and both of them kind of became his allies, or in the case of Piccolo, good friends. Granolah then realized that he had left Monito all alone. Hopefully the Heaters wouldn't have gone looking for him at his place, otherwise Monito would be in big trouble. He would have to do some work for them not to raise suspicion.
Hey Granolah, I'll gladly help you. But in a few weeks though. We're kind of busy with some androids that we're expecting.
Yeah, Yamcha mentioned something about that. What do you mean by expecting?
Oh, the future guy who killed Frieza and his dad told us.
Oh yeah, the future guy. Is he real though? Goku shrugged.
Well, he was here before I returned from space, dealing with the two of them, warning us and kind of setting out. He said he would be back though, so you can maybe see him for yourself.
So if that's really true, if time travel's a thing, you might be Bardock after all.
I don't follow.
I mean, it might be possible that this future person would take you through time, so you can save me as a child. Can you use it perhaps? Goku blinked twice.
This is so complicated, my head hurts, sorry. But listen, I got a proposition. Would your Namekian friend be safe? Maybe we can pick him up and bring him here.
The civilian pondered this. Well, I mean, I usually don't get that many bounties from them, and I'm allowed to take my time with them. Maybe they might think I'm pursuing one of those. I'd love to travel back, but it takes like a month at least to get there.
Well, if I knew his aura, I could instantly transport us there.
I'm afraid I can't help you with that.
Okay, well, you can maybe help us with those androids and train with us. You are crazy strong already.
Gohan seemed excited about this prospect.
That would be interesting. You seem like someone with a lot of cool stories.
Train with you?
Uh-huh. I can't risk leaving Earth when those androids attack. And if we manage to deal with them quickly, then we can help you out with what you need to do and all those headaches.
He does.
Yeah, what you said. So that sounds fair?
Granolah thought for a while. Okay. This sounded like a plan. If Son Goku somehow was Bardock, but something changed his identity or he was undercover or being a really good actor, he could maybe repay him that way, therefore making them fair and square. And besides, the Heaters wouldn't really be interested in them for a few weeks. He had time. He made sure, however, that Earth Week wasn't actually a long period of time. Alright, I agree. He could see that Son Goku's son was excited about this deal. He seemed really interested in oatmeal. He seemed like a more brainy type than his father was. So, for the next couple of weeks, Granolah began to train with Son Goku and his friends. Having met the Namekian Piccolo, who seemed to be a mentor of sorts for the young Gohan, he also met the ones called Krillin, Chaozu, and Tenshinhan, and he actually kinda liked the bunch. They were all good-natured warriors who seemed quite heroic in his mind, so he actually got to know them very well. The most important thing that they taught him was how to incorporate flying better into his fighting style, instead of just hovering around or hopping to get a good vantage point. It worked like a charm, and helped him increase the distance between himself and his enemies, so therefore, it actually was very useful. Now that the day of the android invasion was approaching closer and closer, his well-trained eye had noticed something weird about Son Goku. Goku, there's something wrong with your heart.
Huh? My heart? What do you mean?
Your blood flow. It's off. Goku blinked twice.
Oh yeah, I was supposed to die of an incurable heart disease.
Pardon? Goku, this isn't something to take lightly. The civilian was shocked.
Oh yeah, don't worry about that. Trunks brought me an antidote from the future. I was told to take it when I feel the symptoms. But if you see it right now, maybe I should probably take it.
Yeah, if you got an option, you better not risk it. Deciding to listen to his new civilian buddy, Goku decided to take the heart medication earlier than in the original, which shocked everyone, with his wife Chi-Chi being the most surprised. I don't know what you told him. I usually have problems convincing him to take cough drops when he has a cold. Thank you so much, Granolah. You have no idea how much I'm relieved. No worries, ma'am, said Granolah very nervously. He felt kind of bashful. Yeah, we take care of our new buddies and their hospitable and beautiful wives. Chi-Chi giggled. Oatmeal, stop. Krillin, who was also visiting at the time, looked slightly jealous. Well, man, you were able to swear pretty quickly, huh? Well, I'm not even trying, mate. Hey, no worries. You're a nice guy, that's all. But yeah, that felt good to be helpful in that way. That his special eye was useful in other ways. To have proper comrades too outside of Monito and Oatmeal. People with whom you could share more than just business associations. It honestly felt like a different world with different problems. But they weren't that bad. Maybe Cereal would have been like that if it hadn't been destroyed by the Saiyans. Friends standing together to deal with problems as a unit. It was something that Granolah truly missed. One day, he decided to approach Piccolo. He was busy meditating, and outside of Tenshinhan, he was the most serious of the bunch. Yeah? What do you want?
Listen, if that's not a problem, I'd love to speak with your Namekian elder.
Piccolo said nothing for a while. Well, be my guest. It's not something I can prevent you from doing, nor do I care about it. No offense.
Aren't you his warrior protector or something?
Well, Monito told me... see, that's the confusion here. No, I don't answer to him, and I do not think he likes me very much. Kinda both not remember a lot about an Namekian past. We're halves of the same being, you see.
Halves of the same being?
Is that even possible? Piccolo looked away. He could entertain the curiosity of this newcomer. He was quite capable in combat and respectful, so, why not? And so he told him what he knew about his own story, including the tale of King Piccolo and Goku.
Oh, wow. Minato will be fascinated by this.
You miss him, don't you?
Granolah looked off into the distance. When I left, I was pretty mad at him at hiding the truth from me. But he's the only family aside of oatmeal that I got. Maybe I should speak with him once this is all over.
Piccolo said nothing. He was sure that there was an analogy here, which he didn't want to admit. We're glad to have you on our side, by the way.
But wait, did you really try to kill Goku one time?
I may still try to do it sometime.
Really?
Granolah was shocked to hear that. I mean, probably not, as Gohan wouldn't be too happy about that. But you know, that's not so rare here. Most of Goku's allies have tried to hurt him at least at some point. The guy's got this effect on people, him and Gohan. You have to be someone like Frieza to not see that. The Cerulean nodded slowly. The day of the androids was slowly approaching, and the heroes were getting ready. They split into groups to find them, and they were on an island called a Membo, and Granolah could finally see the widest civilization of this planet. It seemed quite fun, much like the Shigarians who were inhabiting his home planet currently. And then he saw two suspicious fighters who were looking at Yamcha. Look out! Indeed, one of those was fully mechanical. He could feel a pulse or a heart, but not the other one. Disgusting.
This old man's a cyborg. A brain in a jar.
Are you sure?
Pretty sure.
As the Cerulean took aim, he shot Dr. Girose's hat off. It didn't damage the brain container, but the first expression he had from this mostly mechanical being was fear. Good. Let him be scared. The faster they deal with them, the faster his mother would be avenged. And that's where we're going to be leaving things for right now.